And I am live. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. My name is Anthony, and welcome to my live stream. Today, we are having a party, a book launch party, celebrating the release of The Teacher Inside Me. It's a book that's been in Wattpad jail for 5 years, and just this week, I staged a very dangerous prison break, set the book free, got it out of enemy territory, and it now has asylum in a wonderful land called Amazon. Yes. But before we officially begin the program, which will run about an hour, maybe an hour and a half, I want to point out that for those of you joining me live, the chat box is the place where you could have a dialogue with me. I'll chat with you, I'll answer your questions, I'll read your confessions, and I will absolve you of some of your sins. Not all of them, because I know you have many, but some of them I can handle. So let's see. We have people here? Yep, people could hear me? Great. Let's see who's here. Fred, Kaz, hello. Call me Chia. Hi, Chia. Yeah, hell yeah, everybody. As people continue to join the stream, I want to check in with our special guest today. Yeah, we have a special guest. Let me find him. Hold on. Jason, are you there?
Hey, Anthony.
Hey, Jason. Jason is our special guest actor. He's joining me today. He's going to be reading along with me from The Teacher Inside Me a little bit later on. We're going to read a couple chapters from the book. That's super exciting to me. But as we let people join the stream, why don't you and I just chat and catch up a little bit, because I haven't talked to you in a while. How are you doing?
Sounds great. Yeah, I'm doing well. How are you doing? I'm super excited to be here.
Yeah, I am a little hungover. Did you go out last night?
I did. I made it to the East Village in New York with some
Okay.
friends.
Yeah, Jason, for those of you watching, Jason is in New York. I'm in Los Angeles. We're on opposite coasts, but I think we mutually went out
Yes,
and had a good time. Did you have a good time?
I did. Luckily, I got to sleep in a little bit more.
Right. I did not get to
It's
see.
11 a.m. here.
Yeah, it's 8 a.m. for me. It's much too early. I'm not used to getting up this early in the morning, but here I am.
We made it. We made it.
We made it. I did some push-ups to wake myself up, but I don't know if
Get the blood
I don't
flowing.
know if I'm awake. I don't know if I'm awake. I don't know. Yeah. So I heard that you're gonna be in a play soon.
Yeah, in about a week, I leave to do Little Shop of Horrors at a theater in New Hampshire. So I'll be taking on Seymour. I'm super excited.
Oh wow, that's great. You know that Little Shop of Horrors is one of my favorite musicals of all time. I've seen it so many times. It's amazing that you're
No
playing Seymour,
way.
the lead role. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a fun
So
show.
what's that?
It's a fun show. I'm super excited.
Yeah, yeah. What song are you most looking forward to singing when you're in that show?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I'd say it depends on the day, but right now I would say gotta go with the classic Suddenly Seymour.
Yeah,
I feel like,
great song.
it's such a popular song outside of the show. So to be able to do it in the context of the show will be super fun.
Yeah, yeah. Is that the most difficult song in the show to sing? Because there's some crazy notes in that, right? Or is there another song that's more difficult to sing?
Um, I would say for my character, it's probably one of the easier ones. It's pretty difficult for the girl playing Audrey. Um, but Yeah, it's not too bad. That's probably another reason why I like it a little bit
Okay.
easier.
Okay. Cool. Well, I think everybody who's going to join the stream has joined the stream.
Amazing.
So I think it's time to get this party started, right?
Yeah,
And
let's do it.
yeah, right. And as we're getting this party started, everybody who's viewing, if you're not too shy, go to the chat box. Tell me what state you're in. Tell me what country you're in. I want to know. I want to know who's here. I want to know who joined my party. I don't want randos at my party. I want people that I actually know in my party. So just type into the chat box where you are. If you're on desktop, the chat box should be on your right. If you don't see it, there's a little open the chat box panel down below the screen. If you're on mobile, I don't know where it is on mobile, but you should be able to find. Come on, you're all technically advanced. You should be able to find it. Tell me where you are. But yeah, it is time to get this party started. And in celebration of getting this party started, I made the cheesiest intro video possible on Canva, and it's so embarrassing, but I have to play it anyway. Okay, hang on. Let me let me load it up. Okay, here we go. Okay, did you all like that? Yeah, I spent hours on that. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't spend hours. I spent maybe 30 seconds. That's why it looks like that. But let's check in with the chat. So, all right, who's here? Kaz, Wisconsin. Great. I'm from the Midwest. Is Wisconsin count? Wisconsin counts as the Midwest, right? I'm from the Midwest originally. I think Jason is from the Midwest originally as well. Fred
Yeah,
is
Illinois.
yeah, Illinois. Yep, me, Indiana.
Oh,
Fred
very cool.
is from Australia. Fred from Australia. What time is it for you? It must be like 1 a.m., 2 a.m., something like that. Yeah, when I was trying to pick a time to do this party, I tried to choose a time because I know the audience is mostly international. I wanted to pick a time where most of the time zones would intersect in somewhat a convenient fashion. But I knew that Australia was the outlier in terms of time. So, Fred, thank you for staying up. And Finchelburb is also New York. All right, you could stalk Jason somewhere in New York. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I know that there are quite more people. Are you all just shy? If you're not too shy, just tell me where you are in the chat. But yeah, let's get this party started. I assume you all know who I am. If you don't, maybe you stumbled upon the replay of this video. You might not be watching live. I don't know. But hello, my name is Anthony. I am the author of The Teacher Inside Me, which racked up 2.6 million views on Wattpad before being banned. The book was reborn this week on Amazon and is now available once again around the world. And sometimes when writers release books, they throw a book launch party. And these parties typically happen in physical bookstores. But since my readership is nationwide and in fact worldwide, I decided to throw a virtual book launch party, and here we are. And I wanted to replicate a book launch party as best I could online. So today is going to unfold much like it would unfold in real life. But you all out there watching are going to have to use your imagination to make this work. I want you all to imagine that you have somehow magically transported to the city of Los Angeles during a time of year when it's peaceful and when it's the perfect destination for visitors. So you are in this perfect version of Los Angeles, and it's nighttime, and you go mid-city to a huge outdoor shopping center called The Grove. It's got shops and restaurants and a farmer's market. There's a quaint trolley that rolls around the grounds and a majestic fountain that sits in the center of the complex. And next to the movie theater is a 3-story bookstore called Barnes and Noble. Yeah, Barnes and Noble. You're excited to be here. You're looking forward to this launch party. Maybe you take a few photos outside the bookstore because you want to remember this special night. After all, you are a visitor in Los Angeles. You're a tourist. You got to take pictures. You need souvenirs. You need mementos of your time here. And you walk inside this Barnes and Noble, this 3-story Barnes and Noble, and you are struck by how big this place is. There are so many books, wall-to-wall books. Your kind of people hang out here. People who read, people who obsess over stories, who fall in love with characters. This is your tribe. And you wander around the bookstore to take it all in. Maybe you browse the fiction section. Maybe you go to the self-help. We all need a little self-help. Maybe you look at the clearance books because they have deals sometimes on some stuff. Maybe you grab a tea and pastry at the cafe. And now you're on the 3rd floor, so you could get a good look at the whole store. What a sight it is. You're loving it. And the party hasn't even started yet. You make your way to the event area. There are chairs set up, a little stage, a podium, a table on the side with snacks and drinks. Everybody is here to celebrate the teacher inside me, which means all of you have at least one thing in common. So you all have something to talk about. You all have something to bond over. Some of you are too shy to speak up and mingle, and that's okay. You could be silent partygoers, but some of you are comfortable mingling. You're fine telling people who you are, where you traveled from. You're fine chatting in the chat box. It took me about a half hour to go from my place to this Barnes and Noble. I normally would have driven here myself, but I'm going to get drunk after this book launch party. So I decided to take an Uber here. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining me live today. And also thank you to the people watching replay. I wouldn't be here if it weren't for you. Tonight, I'm going to give you some background on the teacher inside me. I'll read from the book along with my friend Jason. I'll answer any questions you have, and I'll give away a signed paperback edition of the book to one lucky person. So let's begin. 7 years ago, I wanted to write a novel, and the story on the surface is pretty outrageous, right? It's pretty crazy. But it actually comes from a very personal place. I grew up as a closeted gay teen in a pretty conservative area in the Midwest, in the Midwestern part of the United States. My family was casually homophobic, as I would call it, as was the world around me at the time. And I say at the time because I look at the world around me now, and I think, every time I think things have progressed in society, there always seems to eventually be what I call a reversion to the mean. So I see the pendulum swinging back and forth. And that's the way it's been politically in the United States for a long time. It's like we take 2 steps forward and then 1 step back. Though lately, I wonder if it's actually just 2 steps forward and 2 steps backward. I don't know. I don't know how you all feel, those of you who are in the United States. So I do see a lot of myself in Liam, and I've always been interested in this interplay between light and dark, which is one of the major themes in The Teacher Inside Me. And I wouldn't quite say that I am the darkness, but I understand it. But as much as I see myself in Liam, I truly also see myself, at least in part, in all of the characters in the book. I think I have some of Lucy's sense of humor and insecurities. I have some of Carter T. Douglas's nerdy tendencies. I have some of Andrew's desire to right wrongs and to take care of people. I have some of Hunter's surface confidence, but hidden self-doubt. And as for Mr. Hilton, you're all just going to have to speculate what parts of Mr. Hilton are true to me. Anyway, in 2018, I chose Wattpad as my platform to write and share my work, because at the time, Wattpad's global reach was massive. It was the place to go for serialized fiction. And the trope I was really interested in was the student-teacher trope. But I didn't want my book to play out in a tired way. So I wanted to twist this trope into a psychological thriller. And I very consciously wanted to play a trick on Wattpad readers. And I think Wattpad readers loved getting the rug pulled out from under them, which is why The Teacher Inside Me went viral. And I think some of my OG Wattpad readers are here. I know, Fred, you said that you followed me on Wattpad back in the day. Oh, IH, Ian is in the chat, of course. Amarella is back. Hi. So we've got the Maldives here and India as well. Amarel, I hope you're doing okay there in India. Hope you're safe with your friends and families. There's some crazy things going on in the world, in India especially. So my prayers are with you and your country. But thank you for making it here today. So yeah, so that's a little bit of the background of The Teacher Inside Me. And of course, this is, again, for those of you who remember way back in the day, this was the first cover that I posted on Wattpad when I started serializing the story. And it was just a very kind of crude mock-up that I made in Canva. I found a photo that I liked, and I thought it was a pretty cool cover. And then after a while, I wanted to give the cover a refresh, because you could get some new eyeballs on the book if you post a new cover. And so this is the second cover I made as I was sharing the book on Wattpad. So the interesting thing about this cover is that after this cover was up for a while, guess what? Wattpad banned this cover. I got a content strike for this. I think this was my first Wattpad content strike, and I've had many. This was my first Wattpad content strike. If you zoom in a little bit, I think you just see a hint of crack, and I think that's what the issue was with this cover. I thought it was a pretty hot cover. I liked it. Wattpad banned it. So when Wattpad banned it, I had to find another cover, and I did this. And I think that this kind of leaned into the thriller aspect a little bit more than the kind of romantic, crazy, aspect of it. So I leaned into the thriller, and this was the cover that was up when in 2020, the book got deleted from Wattpad, and I had no recourse to try to recover it at all. So yeah, it was gone. It just disappeared because I don't know why. So if you take a look at the live stream that I did last month, we speculated as to why all that happened. And as I mentioned in the last live stream, the template for The Teacher Inside Me is really the trashy pulp fiction novels of the 1950s and 60s. These were often crime stories, but they also could be steamy and very, very salacious and provocative. And in fact, this is a great behind the scenes fact for you all right? The title, The Teacher Inside Me, was inspired by, I don't think many people know this, but the title of The Teacher Inside Me was inspired by a 1952 pulp fiction novel written by Jim Thompson called The Killer Inside Me. Did any of you know that? Did anybody know this secret Easter egg behind the scenes fact? But yeah, The Teacher Inside Me, the title, because this book is pretty kind of famous in terms of noir in the 50s, in terms of pulp fiction in the 50s. It was made into a couple film adaptations. I think there was a film adaptation, I think in the 60s or 70s maybe. And then there was one in the 2000s something with Casey Affleck. But yeah, so this title was the inspiration for the title of The Teacher Inside Me. This is the paperback cover, so you can see this wraps around the paperback. I love the design of the paperback cover because you get a lot more detail than just the front cover that you see on your Kindle or wherever you get this book. But I love I love having the back cover on the physical book. You get the little blurb from one of my favorite writers, Nicholas Brown, who was kind enough to write me a blurb, and this little blood splatter I was able to get onto the book cover as well. So yeah, wasn't that a interesting fun fact about the title, right? The killer inside me, the teacher inside me. Yeah, so that's where its roots was, right? So in 2020, when Wattpad unfairly banned my book, I went into hiding, and I just emerged this year and worked really hard to finally get The Teacher Inside Me published, and it was just released this past Wednesday. And I've been working hard at promoting the book, and that's why I'm doing this live stream, to kind of catch up with everybody. And let's see what's going on here. Oh, I forgot that I could pin comments. That's cool, right? Fred says, Fred, you got me banned. I think you're the one that got me banned. You were 13 when you read this. I know, I think a few people on Wattpad posted that they read this when they were very young, when they were in high school, when they were 13, 14, 15. And I think somebody said they were 11. So, I mean, I think, maybe these 11-year-old kid parents found this book and then started reporting me. And as you know, when enough people report you, the bots come after you, scrape your book, and then you're gone forever. There's no appeals process. There's no human involved. I was gone. And then my second book was deleted, but Fred read this when he was 13. So that's I hope I didn't destroy your mind. Did you turn out to be a very damaged individual because of me? Emerald, yes. You're very welcome. Hope you're okay. Finchel Burb says, I came for the teacher-student aspect of the book back in 2020, I think, and stayed for the psychological thriller part. It's such an amazing book. Thank you so much. Appreciate it, you being there back in the day. Kaz has been reading since 2019 when it first came out. Okay, great. And look, Kaz is kind enough to let us know that they have to go get milk at the store. So, was Kaz the one in Wisconsin? I think it's time for cereal. Maybe that's why. Yeah. Wattpad getting upset over a bit of crack is so comical to me, considering some of the others I've seen. I know, Finchel, I mean, we talked about this last time. Some of the covers are ridiculous, but some of the content is crazy. There's literal porn in there. So I don't know. Ian says, I like the blurry one the most. Yeah, that was the last thriller-y one. Yeah, right. Fred wants everybody to say Ayo, Ayo. Okay. All right. And then Fred says, 3 weeks ago, it threw a container of unused Kino tickets bartender. So maybe. So, Fred, where were you playing Kino? Were you in Vegas, Atlantic City? I forget where you said you were. Were you the one from Wisconsin? I don't know. I'm getting all mixed up. Okay. Anyway, I think. Oh yeah, I was going to talk about how I've been working really hard at promoting the book. So I started a TikTok account several weeks ago, and then my first TikTok account got shadow banned, and then so I created a second TikTok account, and that got shadow banned, and then I created a third TikTok account, and I've tried to be more careful in terms of the stuff that I posted and the kind of comments that I posted. Although I did get a content strike on one of the comments I posted. I don't know. So the algorithm showed me a thirst trap. I posted a comment, and the comment got content struck. I got to be more careful. I don't know. So I've been on TikTok doing these I've been doing these videos on TikTok, and I've been trying to build up a content library of me doing these micro stories, these confessions from my real life, and just so that it wouldn't all be book promo. So I think I have one of the confessions here, and this is an appropriate confession. So the these are the kinds of TikToks I've been posting. I've been calling them Anthony's queer confessions, but I think that TikTok was kind of banning the title "queer confession," so I've been calling them Anthony's confessions. So let's take a look at one of them. I think I have like maybe 12, 13. No, I think I've almost 20 up by now. So this is one of them.
I lost my virginity on the floor of a Barnes & Noble. I was 18, closeted, and obsessed with books. I met this guy in the sci-fi section. We bonded over Philip K. Dick. Appropriate name, I guess. We ended up sneaking into the employee stockroom. It was dark, dusty, and filled with boxes and shelves. It was not comfortable. It was not romantic. But it was hot. And somewhere between The Catcher in the Rye and The Catcher in My Thighs, I became a man.
So I've been doing those confessions, and I think that one's okay. I don't know. One of them might eventually get me banned. Who knows? I think it's just this recurring pattern that's going to follow me around, which is okay. And then so I've been mixing in also these promos that I did for the book into the TikToks as well. So here's one of them. So yeah, I've been running those promos too, and I think it's time to read a little bit from the book. How about we do that? And I'm going to ask Jason to come back on. Jason, are you there?
I'm here.
Okay, great. We're gonna read from the book, and let's see. I think we are gonna read from chapter 4 of the book. So chapter 4 is called "Why Do You Always Wear Black?" For those of you who were going to follow along, I actually cut some of the lines to make the reading flow a little bit better. So it's not going to be exactly the way that it's on the page. So you could just listen. It'll probably be better if you just listen and imagine Liam and Mr. Hilton together. And just to set up what the scene is, right before this scene that we're about to read, what happened was Liam went over to Mr. Hilton's classroom because Mr. Hilton asked Liam to come see him after school. And when Liam goes to Mr. Hilton's classroom after school, Liam overhears Mr. Hilton having phone sex in his classroom. Mr. Hilton eventually moves to the restroom to continue his phone sex session, and Liam sneaks to the restroom, opens the restroom door a little bit just to hear Mr. Hilton have phone sex, and the door squeaks. So Mr. Hilton hears the door squeaks, thinks somebody might be there at the restroom. Liam runs down the hallway, hides around the corner, but then Mr. Hilton comes out of the restroom and finds Liam around the corner. And that's when chapter 4 starts. And that's where we're going to pick this up. So Jason, you ready?
Let's do it.
Oh, Jason is going to be playing Liam, by the way. And Anthony, will be playing the part of Mr. Hilton. Okay? So here we go. Were you just in the restroom?
No, I'm here. I've been here because I fell on the ground.
Are you all right? Are you hurt?
I'm fine.
You don't look fine. Did you fall on your ass or on your side? Where?
No, I fell on my knee.
Your knee. That could be bad.
It's okay.
Sit down. Let me have a look.
doesn't hurt.
Sit down, Liam.
I slide down the wall until I'm sitting with my knees propped up in front of me.
Which knee?
I point to the left one. He uses his rugged hands. Does he rock climb? Build things? Chop wood? To push up my jeans, exposing my left leg until he sees my knee, which looks completely fine. Does he know I've been lying yet?
Well, at least you didn't bruise.
His long fingers brush over the blonde hairs on my knee gently. He seems to be looking for a cut, a scrape, something, but I pretend it's a tender touch that means something more.
It looks okay from the outside.
Told you it wasn't that bad. He presses down against my skin.
Does that hurt?
No. He presses harder.
What about now?
No.
Well then, you're going to be fine.
He pulls my pant leg back down. As he stands up, I catch a fading hint of his cologne, the one that drives me practically insane. It's the end of the day, but the scent is still there, hanging on, as if it's making a final attempt at seduction. My eyeline locks in on his crotch area, and I get flustered. I stumble onto my feet. Thanks.
Let's go to my room.
And with that, he's walking down the hall, his back to me. My eyes linger over the shape of his body for a moment before I follow him. Inside his classroom, I sit in a chair beside his desk. Mr. Hilton leans back in his own chair, his hands cupped behind the back of his head, like he's relaxing. No pit stains. He must use good deodorant.
Why do you always wear black?
I don't always wear black. It's just all my jackets and hoodies are black because they go with everything. He laughs. It's a nice laugh. Masculine, kind. His teeth look straight and really white, like he could be in a toothpaste commercial.
I'm just repeating the first line of the seagull.
Oh, right. Duh.
I love that line. Why do you always wear black? And Masha's response, I'm in mourning for my life. Those have got to be two of the greatest opening lines in theater history.
Yeah, it's pretty uh intense.
Intense.
That's not the right word, maybe dramatic?
It's not meant to be intense. Don't you remember what I told you last week? A lot of people take Chekhov too seriously. Maybe because he's Russian or from the 1800s, but Chekhov was mostly writing comedies. The Seagull is a comedy. If you take it too seriously, you read a line like that, I'm in mourning for my life, and you think it's so melodramatic. Here we have this girl complaining in this over-the-top manner, and we roll our eyes at her and the language. But if you look at it through the lens of comedy, even today, even now in 2018, there's a lot of humor there.
Right. Right, I see that.
How about your life?
Me?
Do you think you're living in a drama or a comedy or what? Horror? Romance? What?
Uh, drama? Drama, I guess.
Okay, drama. So, could you step back and look at your life and reframe some of the situations as comedy?
I don't know.
Anyway, I thought you would really like Chekhov.
I like The Seagull. I even started flipping through his other plays after I finished it.
Knowing Chekhov now will benefit you a lot when you're in college and in life.
He gently swats the side of my knee, the way some people touch you when they're excited.
Chekhov's gun.
What?
Have you ever heard of Chekhov's gun?
No?
Well, it's this literary idea that everything in a story needs to be necessary. For example, if there's a reference to a pistol in the first half of a play, then it better be fired in the second half.
Makes sense.
Anyway, I didn't ask you to come here to talk about Chekhov.
I like it.
You're really good at math, right?
I guess.
You're in calculus, right?
Yeah.
And you get good grades.
Yeah. Pretty much, Ace.
See, I don't have a mind for numbers. My wife doesn't either. She waits tables at Sizzler. You've seen her there, right?
My family doesn't go out to eat a lot.
She doesn't want to do that for the rest of her life, so she decided she wants to go to college, become a teacher like me. I think she'd be good at it. But she never took the SATs, and the math section terrifies her. She needs a tutor. So I thought maybe you could come over to our house a couple times a week, maybe one day after school and maybe one on the weekend. I'll pay you, of course. What do you say?
Uh, yeah, I guess I can do that.
Excellent.
He swats my knee again.
You work weekends, right?
Yeah,
What time do you get off work tomorrow?
Saturday, around 6:30.
Can you swing by after work? I'll have food ready for you too.
I don't need food.
Liam, you're a growing boy. You need food.
He hands me his cell phone.
Put your number in here. I'll text you the address.
I take his phone. The lock screen is a smiling selfie of him and his wife on a beach. The photo captures him from the upper part of his bare chest to the top of his head. There's some well-groomed dark brown hair on his chest, and his upper arms and shoulders are nicely defined, strong-looking, smooth, scattered grains of sand attached to the skin. Your phone's locked.
Oh, just punch in 1003. It's my birthday.
Did he really just reveal his password to me? I type in the numbers, the screen unlocks, and I put myself in his contacts. I hand the phone back to him, and when I do, his fingers stroke against mine as he takes the phone.
Great. See you tomorrow then. Thanks, Liam.
Bye.
Oh, and Liam, after school hours, I recommend staying out of the restrooms. Who knows what you'll find?
I move into the hallway and start sprinting towards the quad. My cell phone buzzes. I stop to look. It's a text from Mr. Hilton. It's a winking face emoji. Then my phone vibrates again. It's my mom, and like I do often, I just ignore it. But the first time in a long time, I don't feel guilty at all. In fact, I feel light. I feel like I'm walking on air.
All right, and that's the end of that chapter. Great job, Jason. What did you all think of that out there? Did you like our little reading, dramatic reading of chapter 4? Usually, if you were, in your imagination, physically at the bookstore where we're having this book party, we would hear clapping right now and applause. So since we can't hear that, you're going to have to use the chat box to clap and applause and tell Jason how great he is, right? But let me catch up with the chat here. Where am I? Okay, Fred. Oh yeah, Fred is in Australia, right? Oh yes. So Ian is saying that my old TikTok account is still showing up on Google. Yeah. Yeah, I've been finding that there are some really innocent hashtags you can't even use if it's like some hashtags, if they're paired with other hashtags for some reason, um, they'll suppress a video. So why a Brit accent? Oh, okay. You're probably referencing my other TikTok, right? Yeah. Well, on Wattpad, on my Wattpad wall, I think I asked MRL, I think it was MRL, who I should play. And she said I should play Mr. Hilton. I think I should play Liam, but okay. Continue to point. I post a Family Guy peasant on our permit. Oh, so you're on Reddit also. Okay, great. You all are everywhere. You're on TikTok, you're on Wattpad, you're on Reddit. Yeah, I think we need to do an audiobook, right? Thank you. Thank you, IH. Thank you so much. MRL. That was really good, you guys. Yes. Central Barb enjoyed that also. And TikTok is banned in India, but you watch them on YouTube. Great. Okay. Well, great. I'm glad you like that. So we will read a little bit from another chapter in a little bit. But if you have any questions about the book, about the release, about our promo strategy, you have any questions for Jason about being an actor in New York, go ahead and drop them in the chat. We could answer a few questions. By the way, if you're here, you have a chance to win a signed paperback of The Teacher Inside Me. And I'm going to drop in the chat the link for where you could sign up for that. So in the chat is the link to where you can enter the raffle for the signed paperback. I'll sign it to you. I'll send it to you. But you'll notice, I forgot to say the disclaimer. Is the disclaimer on the page? Let me see. Oh yes. So the disclaimer on the page says the book cannot be shipped to any country where this content is considered illegal. So I don't want to get thrown in country jail, and I don't want you to get thrown in jail. So if this book is not okay in your country, don't enter this giveaway. But the giveaway ends in 17 minutes. So please enter your email there, and there will be one lucky winner of the paperback. The paperback is beautiful. I just got the final copy in the mail a couple days ago, and I'm going to order a bunch. I'm going to have a stack here. And yeah, so great. KP is here. So happy to be a part of this. Hi, KP. What state or country are you in? We've got Australia here. We've got the Maldives. We've got Indonesia. We have India. We have Wisconsin, New York, Los Angeles, all representing. Nakahadoma says, too bad you guys couldn't reenact a saucier chapter. Ha 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 ha. Ha ha ha. Yeah, you're gonna have to pay for this special audiobook of that, right? All right. So Ian is asking, how'd you meet Jason then? So we know each other through mutual friends, right? Great. So drop any more questions you have in the chat, and we'll answer them in a little bit. But right now we're gonna fast forward to chapter 7. Chapter 7 is called Pizza and Lies. And again, we're going to read most of the chapter, but we're going to cut out some of the little bits, some bits just to make the reading flow a little bit better. And in the chat box, you could let us know how we're doing, how Jason is doing, how I'm doing. Hopefully we're doing okay for you. So this scene happens. So right before the scene happens, Liam goes home after his meeting with Mr. Hilton. He's very excited about his meeting with Mr. Hilton, and he gets a dick pic from Mr. Hilton, and Mr. Hilton texts him back and says that it was sent to him by accident. Mr. Hilton meant to send the dick pic to his wife, but somehow he accidentally sent it to Liam. So Liam is very excited about this dick pic, agreed to delete it when Mr. Hilton begged him to delete it. But of course, Liam decided to keep the dick pic. And when Liam gets home, we learn that he comes from an abusive household and he gets hit by his father. So that has happened. And then Saturday happens. Liam goes to work, and after work, Liam goes over to Mr. Hilton's house to tutor Mr. Hilton's wife, Dixie, and Liam shows up on the front porch, and we are about to start reading that part of the book. So this is chapter 7. Are you ready, Jason?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, here we go. What happened to your face?
is the first thing out of Mr. Hilton's mouth when he sees me. I'm on his front porch and he's standing in the doorframe, wearing gray sweatpants and a white t-shirt. He's sweating. Nothing, I lie. I fell off my bike after I hit a pothole yesterday. It's the same lie I've been telling for years, and everyone believes it.
You'd think we've pumped enough money into this city that they could fix stuff like that. Come in.
I walk inside and he closes the door. It's a modest house. Nice. Most of the furniture looks like it's from IKEA.
You'll have to excuse me. I'm all sweaty. I've been working out.
He grabs the bottom of his t-shirt, lifts it up to his forehead, and wipes. When he does this, I look away because I don't want him to think I'm looking at his stomach, his defined abs, the thin trail of brown hair that runs from his belly button down to his sweatpants. But I am looking, of course, out of the corner of my eye.
You work out too, right?
I go to the gym.
I knew it.
He presses a couple fingers against my right bicep.
Check these out. So, Dixie was supposed to be home by now, but one of the servers who was supposed to work the night shift is late. She has to stay a little while longer, just a few minutes. I hope that's okay.
Sure.
I made you a pizza. You like pizza, right?
You made it?
Yeah, I like to cook. It relaxes me. You eat pepperoni, right?
Yeah, I eat pretty much everything.
Good. Have a seat.
I put my backpack down against the wall and I sit. He disappears into the kitchen. Across from me, on the wall, is a framed picture of Mr. Hilton and his wife at their wedding, feeding cake to each other. They look happy. Mr. Hilton returns with a large pizza, generously topped with pepperoni and what looks like extra cheese sitting on a wood cutting board.
Have as much as you want. I've got another one in the oven.
Thanks. This looks amazing.
Go ahead, eat. I wanted to talk to you about yesterday.
What about?
That picture I sent you by accident. I'm so sorry that happened. It's so inappropriate. I thought I was sending it to Dixie, but I guess I still had our text thread open.
It's okay.
You did delete it, right?
Right. I'm lying again.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You know, I've got a great reputation in the school district, but a mistake like this, man, I could get in a lot of trouble. Like my career could be ruined. I could just imagine the clickbait headlines on the internet meant to destroy me.
Nothing to worry about. I take a bite of the pizza. Wow. This is amazing.
You know, when you get older and get married, you'll come to understand that couples have to do new things, different things to keep the relationship alive and healthy. And sometimes they involve things like sending provocative pictures to each other to spice up your partner's workday or talking dirty on the phone. See, you don't have to worry about anything like that yet. You're young and everything's fresh. Listen to me, I'm always in teacher mode. I've got to stop.
I like listening to you.
I mean, for all I know, you could already be doing the same thing with your girlfriend.
I don't have a girlfriend.
Wait, there's this girl I always see you with. That's not your girlfriend?
Lucy? No, we're just friends.
Well, you have to lock that down.
No, I think we'll keep it the way it is.
I get it. Keep your options open. Play the field.
He starts walking towards the hallway.
I'm gonna take a shower. I'll be out in a few.
He takes off his shirt, and I see his back muscles flexing at me as he disappears down the hall. I continue eating. I want to savor this food, savor these moments. A few minutes later, I finish 2 slices. I wipe my hands with the paper napkin that was set out for me and take a drink of water. I extend my head towards the hall. I think I hear the sound of the shower running. I can't believe what I'm about to do.
All right. And that's the end of that chapter. All right, great job, Jason. What do you all think about that? Let's catch up in the chat and see what's going on. Okay, we saw that. Makahadoma says Jason's voice is perfectly suited to this. Like you actually sound like someone that age. Yeah, maybe Jason is that age. We don't know. We don't know. Finchel Barb says, when I get my hands on a copy of this, I'll be reading the lines in your guys' voice in my head. That's great. That's great. Love it. Yeah. IH agrees. IH says, I've already bought another copy, but I think I'll save my next reread for another year. Yeah, I think you've read it enough. I think you need to give it a break, right? Amaral says, I think it's the perfect choice of both of you. Thank you so much. So I think that ends Jason's portion. I think Jason might stay around. He might hop off, but if he hops off, go ahead and say bye to Jason and tell him what a great actor he is.
Goodbye, everyone. Thank you so much for including me. This was super fun. And congrats on the book.
Thank you so much. So, and congratulations on Little Shop of Horrors. Playing Seymour, the lead role, is amazing. Amazing. That's like a dream come true for a lot of people. So not a lot of people get to say that they played Seymour in Little Shop of Horrors. But I'm excited for you. I wish I could be there to see it, but I don't know. I'll be thinking about you. I'll be listening to the. Are you on TikTok?
I am, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Did you ever do any of Little Shop songs on your TikTok?
Oh, I don't think so. No.
Oh, okay.
But maybe I'll have to post some.
I think you're gonna have to. But yeah. So when do you leave? You have to leave town, right, to do that? When you leave town?
Yeah, I'll be leaving next Sunday. So
okay,
about a week.
Great. Well, I hope you have a great trip, and I think we have a few comments coming in. There's always a little delay in terms of stuff. So MRL says, bye, Jason. That was really, really good.
And thanks for all the kind words, everyone.
IH says, bye. Maybe we'll see you in the next Spider-Man. That would be awesome, right? Mitchell Burb says, break a leg, Jason. Awesome work here. And then IH wants to see you Spider-Man on Broadway, maybe. I don't know if they'll ever revive that Spider-Man, but I don't know if you all know, but there was a Spider-Man musical that was a disaster on Broadway, but maybe they'll fix it and bring it back. And IH says, always wanted to go, and Little Shop of Horrors too. Oh my God. Yeah, that would be amazing. Hopefully we could get a recording of that someday. But thank you so much, Jason.
Thank you. Bye,
Take
everyone.
Care. Bye. Okay, guys, that was our reading. And I want to tell you that that's not typical of a real. I don't know how many of you have been to a book launch party before and an author reading, because usually it's just the author reading. But I had this idea to bring in an actor, and yeah, I think it just brings a whole different level of something to the chapters when you get to read with another person, right? So yeah, that was a lot of fun. You don't usually get something like that. So this was very, very special for me, special for you. And I think we're nearing the end of our time here. So if you have some questions you want to throw in the chat, I could answer them. And I think you have 5 minutes left to enter the raffle. There's a countdown clock on there. 4:53. Yeah, countdown clock going on. Fred is clapping. I've been wanting to crash it, so that was something. Yeah, that was fun. So yeah, the book is out now, and I think you'll have it already if you have it. And if you have an active Amazon account, it would be really helpful to me if you went on Amazon and left a review on Amazon. It really helps the algorithm discover the book. It's been slowly this week climbing up the charts. The kind of aggressive promo started yesterday. So hopefully we'll climb up the charts and crack the top 100 in some key categories. I don't know. Can we make it to number 1? We'll see. We need you to tell your friends, leave a review on Amazon. If you have a Goodreads account, it would be helpful if you could also leave a review on Goodreads. If you have socials, post about the book on your socials. I would love to crack the top 100 in some categories. I'm going to check right now. I'm going to check here. Did I crack anything? Let's take a look. I'm on the Amazon page, and we are number 259 in LGBTQ plus literary fiction. So close, getting so close to cracking the top 100. Yeah. And what else? Are we getting close anywhere else? I'm looking. We are also number 203 in LGBTQ coming of age fiction and 259 in LGBTQ literary fiction. So I think if we get a little bit more steam this week, I think we can crack the top 100, and then maybe more steam after that. Maybe in July we could get close to, I don't know, top 10. Is it possible? MRL. So MRL Duskin or Duskin, I don't know. I think that this username of yours is actually 2 names. I think, right? I'm just realizing that now. That I think that the first part of the username is Amorel, and the second part of the username is Duskin or Duskin. Is that correct? Maybe. So Amorel asks, how did you get started with writing, Anthony? At what age? I started writing when I was just a kid. So as little as I can remember, like maybe when I was 4 or 5, maybe I remember drawing comic books. I can't quite remember what kinds of comic books but I would write, draw little characters and would write dialogue to accompany the character drawings that I did. And then when I entered middle school, I started writing short stories. And then in high school, I continued to write short stories, but I also wrote scenes like plays and movie scenes. And then I went to college and really pursued writing professionally in different forms of media, as I mentioned in my last live stream, but never really on a professional level pursued fiction. I did a bunch of different other kinds of writing, but writing on Wattpad was my first foray into presenting my fiction to the public. And Makahadoma says, don't say, but Jason sounds cute. Yeah, I won't say, but I think he would be very pleased if you saw him. You're probably making him blush if he sees the replay of this. I don't think he's on the stream anymore, but if he sees the replay, he's going to blush. IH says, I bought it on Amazon, but my God, they got more rules to post reviews on there than it takes to become a doctor. Yeah, Amazon is strict with their rules. I had people reach out to me, said that they posted one and it didn't appear. And I had to ask ChatGPT, why would Amazon be suppressing reviews? And yeah, you have to have had an Amazon account for a while. You have to have spent a certain amount of money on Amazon. You have to make sure that the post does not have any profanity. I don't know. There's a lot of restrictions, right? Amorel, I was correct. So Amorel, right? So, wow, that's so cute. At 4 or 5 years, I wonder if I could find my old stuff from when I was younger. I also, yeah, I would also write musical lyrics, but I would parody songs. So I would take songs that were popular. I don't remember any of them now, but I would take songs that were popular and then make parody songs of them. So I would do that too. Yeah, it was really cute. Finchel says it is a good thing that Amazon is sort of strict with reviews, prevents sellers buying reviews, but it is super frustrating. Yeah, that's true. You don't want a bunch of fake reviews on the stuff that you buy off of Amazon. So I think that's why there are so many restrictions. You're right. And Fred asks, are you a type of playwright? I feel like I remember something from your last stream about you being a playwright or whatever they are called. They are called playwrights, and I have dabbled in playwriting. I mentioned in my last stream that I've dabbled in different forms of writing. So I've acted as a playwright in my life. I've acted as a journalist, a blogger. I've written for games as well. I don't know if you remember, but maybe you were around Wattpad during the time. I think it was it 2019, 2018? I can't remember, but I wrote for a game app, a storytelling app. Man, I don't even remember what it was called. What was it called? I'll have to dig it up and tell you. I wonder if my story is still up, but it was one of those kind of like make your own choice, choose your own adventure types of apps where in the story you would swipe, there would be scenes in the story, and then you could choose which path the story went to. And I can't, the original name of the story that I wrote was Who Killed La Dama Roja? And it was a romantic thriller set in Colombia, I believe. But I believe they changed the title to Heir, Heir, Heir to Love and Lies. I didn't like that title. It's a little, I don't know, it's a little cheesy for my tastes. But what was the name of that app? I don't know. It was in 2019. If you're interested, I'll try to find it for you. And Amaral says it's dusk and just like dusk till dawn. Yeah, so I was correct. Great. Well, I think that's I think that the giveaway is done. So let me refresh my page here and see. Winners haven't been picked. So let me see. How do I find out who won? Hold on, I'm going to my giveaway page. It's June 14th. There were 22 entries, and okay, well, so I'm on this site called King Sumo. Oh, here, I press this button called Ready to Award, and the winner is it's Frederick. Frederick, I have your email. I will be reaching out to you. Congratulations. Everybody says so. Frederick must be Fred, right? So congratulations to Fred. Everybody say congratulations, Fred, for winning a free signed paperback. Yay! And it wasn't called Choices. It wasn't one of the super popular ones. It wasn't one of the super popular ones. It was, yeah, I'll find it and let you know. I'll post it on my Wattpad wall, maybe, or I'll send an email about it. I don't know. It wasn't a wheel. I just had to press a button. So yes, congratulations, Fred. Congrats. Well, that ends our time here. By the way, everybody, I think that I have this gay romance promo company helping to do promo for me, and I think that they have another giveaway that they are running. So the book is going to appear on a bunch of Facebook posts and Instagram posts and blogs and stuff over the next week or so. And so they're also running a giveaway for a paperback. And I think this is I'm going to post a link in the chat. So here's another place that you could enter to win a paperback. So this is not a contest that's being run by me. It's being run by the people doing the promos for me. And I'll also, let me put up on the screen as well. I'll pin the screen. So anybody watching the replay, you have 4 days from the time that the stream is going on to enter the Rafflecopter giveaway for a signed paperback. So Fred might win too. So yeah, I would love for one of my dedicated readers to win this. So there are 4 days left to enter. So go ahead and enter. Yeah. Thank you so much for joining me today, everybody. I really appreciate your time. I couldn't have done this without you. It's been a long time coming, this release. I'm glad I'm out of Wattpad jail finally. And Ian is asking, what are you going to do with 2 of them? Reenact the book? Probably. Yeah. So have a great weekend, everybody. Take care of yourselves. I appreciate you. I appreciate your being here. And if you're watching the replay, thank you for watching the replay. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe button. And I will see you next time. I will hopefully have another live stream soon. Maybe I'll bring another actor back to reenact some other scene. Maybe we'll have other characters in the stream. But thank you. This was a fun book party. It couldn't have gone any better. It was perfect. Thank you, IH. Thank you, Finchelberg. Yes, glad you were here. Bye, Emerald. Yeah, maybe I'll bring Jason back. Great. Take care, everyone. Have a good weekend.